you would always want to be on the side of having good credit.
Do you think it pays to have good credit? I'm a guy to where I only focus on what I handle, you know. So if my main
Yeah.
industry is credit repair, I focus on growing and scaling credit repair. And you probably already hitting what I'm getting at, but man, I go through so many clients throughout the year. And I want to say half of these clients are trying to buy a home. The other half are trying to build their credit or establish their
Sure.
credit because they're starting or they are already a small business owner. And so many people call me or they email me and just ask questions such as, "Hey, Chris, where can I get funding to start a business?" Or, "Hey, Chris, where can I get
Mm,
funding to grow my business?" And like I said, I mainly focus on credit repair. I've had a lot of people in the past come to me offering, you know, affiliate links and things like that for
hmm.
business funding. I just haven't had time to
Yeah.
research deep into it, although I know it's very helpful because it has helped me, you know.
Hmm.
But man, I get so many clients and I wouldn't say I brush them off. I just kind of maybe educate them on how it works, the risk involved, and I tell them, okay, you can go search on your own and
Yeah.
find the best source for you. So I really don't have someone directly that I can actually refer clients to for business funding because so many people come to me, man, and you know, maybe later in this episode we can get more into this, but half of these people, I hate to say it, but they're unorganized with their business. The business
Sure.
probably don't exist already,
Hmm.
or they so-called have a registered LLC and they just claim that they file paperwork and they can just jump off a bridge and land in, you know, a pile of funding. So, you know, half of those people do come to me in those situations. So that's the main reason why I brush it off because, you know, if I were to go refer people like that to professionals like you know, I just don't think they're ready for that. So that's why I've
Mm.
never taken it serious. So for any of my audience or clients that listen to these episodes, where should these people be at in life or as far as in business when it comes to getting business funding? Are there actually options for people that are trying to get money to start a business, or should they be in business a certain amount of years, or how exactly does that play out?
Absolutely. Yeah. Before I answer that question, I want to allude to your earlier point. So 2 months ago, me and my head of marketing, we got invited to this like high tier credit monitoring event, right? So the
Yeah.
location was like in the mountains of California. They literally built a bomb shelter and turned it into a winery. And then they had this amazing like conference room. We got invited, and we there were about 30 people. We were the only funding coaching company. The rest of them were
Mm.
all credit repair, prominent credit repair companies, right?
Yeah.
So I had a chance to interact and network with a lot of them during there. What was super shocking to me, Chris, is that none of them had funding options added
Right.
to their offer, right? You're not
Yep.
alone. Like that was like, it was mind boggling to me. And I said, I'm just trying to understand, guys, like, why not? And the answer across the board was very similar to what you said. Hey, credit repair, it's a lot of work. And I just focus on there. We do an amazing job with our customers. It
Yep.
just, we never looked into it. Like, and I'm like, wow, that's very interesting because that's like a natural progression, right? Like some of them are not looking for funding if they want to buy a house or a car, but most of them are looking for funding. But I would bet that those who are looking to buy a car, if they knew that they could get funding, they would also be interested, most of them at least, like for getting funding, right?
Hmm.
So that's like, you're not alone. It just happens across the board. There are a lot of
Yeah.
credit repair companies. They just want to be good at what they do and, help
That's
people
it.
and make money that way. There's nothing wrong with that. But also there's the option of, hey, if you don't have that option, they're going to get it from someone else and you're not benefiting it. So you help
Right.
them, but you're not benefiting from that side.
Yep.
Now going back to your question, so someone listening who can get actually funding and under what circumstances, right? We have two buckets of funding basically. One, what we call the startup funding. It can be pre-revenue, right? So we
Okay.
require credit score of 680 and above. So those people get qualified to what we call the syndicated line of credit, similar to how you did it. We help them get a couple of 0% introductory rate credit cards. We help them do that, and they can get anywhere from $20,000 to $150,000, and they do not have to have an LLC or revenue, and it's
Mm.
not tied to any collateral. So they don't need to have a company car or home or anything like that. We do the entire underwriting. We just get their credit report. and we help them get it, and they can send it over to us, or we can do the soft pull on their behalf. We do that, and they get access to the capital. And once they get those credit cards 0% interest, we also provide them options to legally cash them out without putting the credit card into an ATM and pulling it. As you know, when you do that, that's considered cash advance, and you're going to pay a premium on it, right?
Yeah.
So we have legal firms and other companies that allow you to legally pull cash out of those cards without having to incur those high charges. So that's one bucket. The second bucket is for small businesses. So as long as they've been in business for 3 months and more, and they're generating revenue, they're a good candidate for small business funding, which is a lot of businesses, right?
Yeah.
And that bucket, credit is not as an important factor as the startup funding. So we funded people with like 480 credit score, 500, 550. It does make a difference on their payback amount. Like if the credit is pretty shot down, basically, obviously that tells us about the type of business owner they are. Like you said, they might not be as organized with their finances, or they don't understand, or they're just too busy, but still doesn't matter. So that bucket, we can fund anywhere from $5,000 to $2 million. Okay. And what we need is like pretty straightforward. We need 3-4 months of bank statements from them to prove that they've been in business and they're generating revenue, and just a one-page application we pass along. So as simple as that. We do the underwriting, we get the offer. We have over 100 different lenders in our network. So we get the offer, put it in front of them. They see how much they're getting from us and how much they're paying back. If it makes sense for them financially, they sign a dotted line, and we can do all of that within 48 hours.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode. If you wish to be a guest on our podcast, visit SturgisCreditRepair.com and click the podcast page to schedule an episode. If you need help with your credit, you can also sign up at SturgisCreditRepair.com and start your free trial today.
Sturgis Credit Repair. Sturgis Credit Repair. If you want a new house, call us. If you need